I've said some weird things on here, but this might top the list. Female dogs in polyester pants. Yeah, it wasn't a good look on them, but we learned a lot. So researchers did a study way back in 2008 where they put polyester pants on female dogs. Why? To see if fabric type affected fertility, and it did, wildly. For a whole year, these groups of dogs were either 100% polyester, 50-50 cotton blend, 100% cotton, or 100% wool. One group wore nothing as a control. And the dogs in the polyester, almost 75% couldn't get pregnant, even with artificial insemination. And I'm going to steal your punchline. The bro doesn't know plastic pants have to come down to get pregnant. I know. There were openings for elimination functions and the tail. But listen to this. The progesterone levels dropped. Meanwhile, dogs in wool and cotton had a 100% success rate getting pregnant. They discovered a measurable electrostatic field that formed around the reproductive organs on these dogs that were wearing polyester, and that interfered with hormone signaling. It was twice as high in the 100% poly compared with the blend, but there was no such charge on the dogs wearing cotton and wool. Now, I'm not saying your leggings are making you infertile, but if this happens in mammals, and we're mammals, maybe it's worth thinking about. Besides just fertility, do you know what happens when progesterone levels drop? That's a PMS picture. You don't sleep well and life sucks. It's not just polyester in those pants, as they're often mixed with spandex and chemically treated and layered right over hormone-sensitive areas like the pelvis, groin, and the thighs. Natural fibers, people, not just for tree huggers, for hormone huggers too. Let's get smart.
Very, very true. And I'd like to share a few thoughts in this regard. I've been teaching people not to wear anything synthetic, or sometime in the year 2000 when I began working with Master Fong Ha, a Tai Chi and Qigong master who is actually in the ancient lineage of Tai Chi masters. He is one of the few living true masters at that time. Unfortunately, he's passed away now. He was about 75 when I started with him. An amazing human being. And through the Gong practices that he gave me, I began to not only have profound openings of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, all my voyances, but I became very, very sensitive to subtle energies. I could literally feel and read people's auras after my third gong. I noticed while doing Tai Chi that my heart began to feel constricted after about 30 minutes of Tai Chi, and I thought it was very strange and unusual. So one day I happened to have come home from doing my Tai Chi, which I used to do on the beach, and I was wearing an electric watch at that time, a watch with a battery in it, and I took the watch off, and then I got distracted and was doing something else, and all of a sudden I noticed that the heart tension had alleviated. I thought, that's weird. The only thing I've done different is take my watch off. So then I put my watch back on, and slowly over the span of a few minutes, my heart constricted again. So that was my first indication that even a very small electromagnetic field, that from a watch, could disrupt the flow of the energy through the heart meridian, which runs right through the ring finger and up into the chest. Then somebody gifted me with a pair of organic cotton Tai Chi pants and top, and I began wearing that. And prior to that, I was wearing what are sometimes called parachute pants, and I hadn't become super hip yet to the synthetic fiber issue. And so when I wore these organic cotton pants and top to do my Tai Chi, I noticed that my whole body was more open. I could feel as though my energy field was breathing. I could literally see the breathing in my third eye. The energy was circulating naturally. So I thought, well, this is interesting. So I went back to my parachute pants, which are synthetic fibers, and I felt as though somebody had wrapped my whole body in plastic. So I began experimenting, and over the span of a few weeks, going from organic fibers to non-organic fibers, I became lucid as to the effects of it. And so what I did is I actually used my clairvoyance to monitor the flow of energy in and out of my body. And you know, our aura is light being projected out of our body. And what I saw is that when I wore any kind of synthetic fiber whatsoever, even with just small amounts, like 10 or 15%, when the light would come through, it would be distorted, and it would even cause a shift in the color. It would be, the analogy I give is if you go to a hockey game and you got to sit and watch a game through plexiglass, it makes your eyes tired after a while because the light can't pass through it like it can glass. So you become strained. And so when we're wearing synthetic fibers, the light that is coming out of our body, which communicates with the environment and draws energy and information from the environment back into us so that our cells can read the environment, is being distorted. And it creates a stress reaction in the body, and the more healthy and vital you get, the more obvious it becomes. So I began making sure that all my students knew to to avoid synthetic fibers whatsoever, especially women with bras, because the bras are so tight against their breasts and oftentimes they're synthetic, and that's a terrible place to disrupt your energy field right at your heart. So I began teaching all my students a long time ago to always wear natural fiber clothing. And it's important to remember that we don't just have hormonal communication. If you, for example, listen to my recent podcast with Alexis Cowan, she talks all about the light communication in our body. A lot of that original research was done by Fritz Albert Popp, who I've studied quite extensively. And so our cells are talking to each other through light emission in a variety of different frequencies, infrared being a common one. And so we're actually using light from the environment and from our body to communicate, and the synthetic fibers disturb that. Think of a prism. If you shine white light through a prism, it refracts into the rainbow. But imagine if that prism was dirty inside, like a crystal that's not pure. It would disturb the light and you would not get a clean refraction, and you would get some kind of a distorted, dirty looking rainbow. So I think having research like we just saw presented to us is a real reminder that not only is there a lot of chemicals on clothing that's very damaging to your body and literally poisonous, but these synthetic fibers are not only disrupting hormone regulation and production as he shared, but the things that I shared with you also are very important. So two key things I'm pointing out. One, don't wear anything with an electric circuit on your body, especially if you're not healthy and vital, because it can significantly stress you. And if I, as a very healthy man, could feel my pericardium constricting and literally felt like pressure on my heart, imagine what that might do to somebody who's already suffering a heart condition. So get rid of the electromagnetics and go to a kinetic watch, or just use your phone and don't even keep your phone near your body any more than you absolutely have to. And second of all, switch to natural fiber clothing, hemp, wool, cotton, silk, any of the natural fibers out there. There's lots of them and they feel so much better. Many of my patients, clients, and students have told me after switching how much more in touch with the environment and in touch with themselves and less stress that they feel. So I think this was great research. I'm really grateful to see that out there. Thank you to the beautiful man that shared that with us, and thank you to all of you for joining me in taking the money out of the pockets of the companies that are poisoning us for profit, usually selling us very cheap stuff for lots of money, when we could support organic farmers and put our money into the hands of the people that are making the world a better place, treating animals ethically, and supporting us all in being more healthy and vital. Aho.